Hello, everybody out there on YouTube. We are the Middle-Aged Guys, and we're going to be bullshitting about Nintendo again. I am the Reverend.
The theme here.
And Gray Mouse 1.
I was going to go ahead and call this little video here the good, the bad, and the ugly, but really, I don't think all of the things that we're going to talk about quite fall into those particular sections. What I'm going to call this is that I'm going to call it the good, the expected, and the really fucking stupid, okay? So what we're going to start out with, obviously this video is about Nintendo, and they've been in the news. They've been seeing a lot of success. One of the things that you can't get away from is that the Switch is Nintendo's best-selling system of all time right now.
That you use that music because that's the game that is actually why that game is Nintendo's best-selling system ever.
Well, that's the funny thing is that we'll get to that because there's a special thing about that too. But over the month of March, SuperData released out. This is a third-party market analyst company released out that they have estimated that Nintendo has sold 2.4 million Nintendo Switches worldwide. Okay. Originally, Nintendo themselves said that they estimated that they just wanted to ship over 2 million units, all right, within the first month. And everybody said that sounds really, really ambitious from Nintendo, especially the guys who go out of their way and forcefully, artificially control demand and supply and stuff like that, because everybody was saying that, oh, hey, look, you're not going to be able to find any place because Nintendo's not going to make that many. Turns out they made a lot, all right? If you're having trouble finding it, it's because it's selling like fucking hotcakes, okay? So 2.4 million units worldwide. Yes, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild was a big part of that. But the funny thing about that is that the same market analysis went ahead and looked at the numbers for the States. And in the States for the month of March, there was around 960,000 Switch units sold just in the United States. The funny thing about that is that Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, this game sold 1.2 million copies in the States. So people were buying this game, more of the copies of these games than there were actual systems sold. Which never fucking happens. Okay, I'm gonna tell you right now. A lot of game systems that launch, they come to if they come to like an 80% adoption rate as far as a game being attached to a system outdoor, that's considered phenomenal. But this game has sold more copies than there are actual units sold in retail in the United States. That right there has its own special category, to say the least. What are your guys' thoughts on this? I think it's pretty self-evident what's going on.
First of all, congratulations to Nintendo. Oh, wait. You have those people out there that said Nintendo is dead. They should get out of the console race. They should go third party. Fuck Nintendo. They have no place in the gaming industry. Yes, there have been people that have said those words. All the Sony and Microsoft fan nut huggers say those type of things. And then the PC master race are just juggling balls on the remainder. But congratulations to Nintendo by having this console, selling it, having a fucking meaningful game to buy it for, and actually boosting its sales. I mean, fuck. Who'd have thought Nintendo could actually sell a console with a meaningful game to it?
Oh, they've only just been doing this for what? Almost 40 fucking years,
Been alive.
Yeah. It's funny. It's funny how that happens. What about you, Gray Mouse? What are your thoughts on this one?
Same thing. Congratulations to Nintendo. And I think the old saying goes, these truths are self-evident. I think I heard that from somewhere. I'm not sure. Anyway, yeah. I mean, come on. I hardly ever pre-order a hardware device, and I pre-ordered this on a whim, and I'm very satisfied with it. I've been playing a hell of a lot of.
Come on. No, for you two, your credit cards jumped out of your fucking wallet.
That's what I'm saying. Pretty much, it was quick. I mean, I decided it was on a whim. I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just going to do it, and I did it. And I've been playing that Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild.
Look what sold the system. Look what sold the systems. There's Zelda, and then there's all the shit that's going to be coming out this year. Now we're going to get to the games and all that's going to be released this year alone for the Nintendo Switch. But people were so fucking convinced, and the amiibos are backwards compatible, and it's a portable / console, and the Joy-Cons, even though the Joy-Cons have had issues here and there, but it's not enough to break the deal.
I mean, 2.1 or 2.4 million of these sold worldwide? Are you fucking kidding me? Within the first month? That's a phenomenal fucking achievement. And anybody who doesn't think that, they could go smoke a dick.
Well, in a day, the PS4 sold 1 million. In a day, the Xbox One sold 1 million.
We talk about 2.4 million.
But that's in the span of, March 10th to now.
But I'm just saying. That's
still worldwide, and that's still an achievement because a lot of people, as we keep saying, a lot of people thought that Nintendo was just out of the game.
Yeah, not only that, but a lot of people who should fucking know better were also banking on, Nintendo's going to go ahead and shortchange supply because that's what Nintendo always fucking does. Well, truth of the matter is that and I've said this before, they don't have the same production power as, a big electronics conglomerate like Sony or a huge PC software and peripheral manufacturer like Microsoft. That's just one of the things that they don't have available to them. But, one of the things that you said, Theme, that I got to go ahead and point out, there's a reason why people are getting a hold of this system, and that's because, guess what? The experience that you get on this system, whether or not, you're playing it docked or you're taking it portable, all right? You cannot get this experience, much less the games that are exclusive to it anywhere else. And,
but it doesn't play Blu-rays. It doesn't... No,
it doesn't fucking need to. All right,
this is a game console made for video games.
Yeah, it doesn't need to. And the thing is that guess what? I've got combined, including the drives on my PCs. I've got about a half a dozen fucking Blu-ray players in my house. Yeah, I don't need another one. All right, seriously.
Wait, what about if it was a portable Blu-ray player?
How the fuck are you shoving that into this fucking thing? Seriously.
Well, you can actually make memory card sticks or whatever.
Then it's not a Blu-ray player.
Well, one thing too, that Nintendo again proves that all it takes is one fucking great game to sell a system, and that's that. I mean,
that's for any console.
When you sell a game at 100% plus, just think about that for a minute. 100% plus. How's that even possible?
Well, let's look at the history upon, systems being sold because of the games that are on it. I mean, Microsoft had that once upon a time.
Halo, yeah.
I mean, you can't, and even Sega had that once upon a time.
You can't deny those. But I mean, it's just like these people that were saying, the naysayers, saying that Nintendo, this is just a gimmick, and that Nintendo's going to fail and they should go to third party. This just proves just how powerful Nintendo still is to this day. I mean, it's a testament of their innovative, know-how that they come up with different shit for each system. Yeah, the Wii U didn't sell very well, but this certainly made up for it.
Well, look at what listen to what the Reverend just said. The experience on this system, you can't get anywhere else, in or out of the house.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, now Nintendo has started selling the dock. That is fucking brilliant. You mean to tell me that you could set multiple docks up throughout your house?
Yep.
And go from TV to TV? That's fucking brilliant.
Yep. Pretty much. I mean, the experience that they have going on with the Switch right now, here's the thing. All right. Yes, the launch library was not very big. It was like 14 titles, including all the digital releases and stuff like that. But the thing is, people still found other reasons to go ahead and play the Switch. Snipper Clips is a very surprising hit as far as it goes, And the one thing that I got to say, looking at everything that they've done so far, the one thing that still leaves me kind of concerned at one point is, what else does Nintendo have coming out down the pike? Thankfully, the last Nintendo Direct, when they went out of their way to announce a lot of games that, covered a lot of things that are coming out. Now, it's not a great number of games, but it is a regular flow of games, and it also doesn't include all of those other games that maybe popping up through third party that aren't paying marketing in order to be pushed by Nintendo at their directs, okay, or independent games that happen to be released out digitally, because indie games drop every fucking day, and there's always a great chance that you're going to go ahead and run into a grand gem in the midst of all of them, And this is where we kind of go into what I call the expected part. Okay, one of the things that a lot of people were concerned with is that what games were they going to go ahead and follow up with? Well, it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. 17 games so far have been confirmed for this year as far as retail games for the Switch. A crap load of Neo Geo games coming to the Virtual Console, and also the Virtual Console hasn't been opened yet here in the States. As far as a lot of those games, we're probably going to see a lot of those too. We have, of course, the regular the regular suspects. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is set to come out at the end of this month. Ultra Street Fighter 2 is the end of May. Minecraft, beginning of May. Let's see here. And then we see like Sonic Mania, which is going to be coming out sometime this summer. That one doesn't have a hard set in stone date. And, of course, later on, you've got your Mario Odyssey. Let's see here. They've announced another Fate Extella game for July. Disgaea Complete, which is coming out in May, and everything. There's a lot of games that are coming out. The funny thing about that Direct was that they also went ahead and Nintendo went out of their way to, illustrate to people, guess what? We know we have the 3DS. We're not leaving you owners for the 3DS out in the cold. Guess what? The Switch is not replacing this system, and they also went ahead and they covered a crap load of 3DS games that are coming out, like Hey Pikmin, which is a new Pikmin game, new Monster Hunter Stories, Yokai Watch 2. This one is kind of interesting. It's RPG Maker FES, which is basically it's an RPG Maker game, and it's going to include Disgaea crossover characters. And the funny thing is that with the FES, that usually they save that subtitle for Fire Emblem games. So that one's another one. New Kirby, which, as we know, has never been a bad game. Kirby Clash Deluxe, which should be out right now. And then Kirby's Blowout Splash, which is going to be out later on in the summer of this year. What do you guys think about the Nintendo Direct? And did any of those games actually stand out to you as far as something that you really wanted to get a hold of?
The funniest thing about certain games is that they were on the Wii U and they're going to the Switch, such as Mario Kart 8. Mm-hmm. And and people complain about that. And it's like, wait a second, I'm a PS4 owner. And if you complain about anything like that, then you're a hypocrite if you're a PS4 owner. They watch, rinse, repeat. Like, okay, The Last of Us, God of War 3, both of those say hello, amongst other things. So if you're going to complain about Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, well, it's on the Wii U, and now it's going to the Switch. Well, fuck, it's a great fucking game. Buy it, play it, enjoy it, and it's going to be portable with more state tracks, all that shit. I mean, fuck. Yeah. SNK supporting this thing, yes, it's going to be on the Virtual Console, but fuck, I didn't think... The only problem that I saw is that they chose like certain games that are sporadic, like World Heroes Perfect, I think, King of Fighters 94 and 98. None of them are in between so far. And I think they chose Metal Slugs 1 and 3, but they left out 2. And I'm like, okay, maybe they'll fill in the blanks later. But again, SNK is supporting it. I mean, that's good. Ukulele is going on this thing. So it's like, there's a different fucking Shovel Knight. going on a fucking Switch.
Yep.
So it's like, damn. Besides the first party, the third party is living up. Nintendo is coming back with third party. That's what they fucking needed. That's what I was looking, as far as saying, okay, we need third party back. Now, in order to get those hardcore motherfuckers, yeah, they need the hardcore third party games. But at least they're stepping in the right fucking direction as far as first party and third party. They're going to have this year laid out. And we're not even at the end of fucking April yet. We're not even 2 months into this fucking console, and they've laid it out for the rest of the year. And it's looking good so far.
What about you, Grey Mouse? What are your thoughts on the Nintendo Direct news?
I'm loving. Excuse me, I'm loving it. I mean, like I said, it's interesting that Minecraft is going on there, being that Microsoft owns that now. But nonetheless, I think it's the Switch edition. I think they're calling it that.
Yeah.
Like the theme was saying, Neo Geo games, Samurai Showdown. I mean, come on, bring them. And then you mentioned King of Fighters. I think King of Fighters 94 is one of the best. That's just my opinion. I love that one.
It was the first.
95 also, but I mean, they need to bring 95. But like you said, fill in the blanks. Disgaea 5. I'm looking forward to that one. Namco Museum. Yes, please. The Sonic Mania, I'm excited about that. And if you're looking at this, there are a lot of third party, and that's what they needed, And then there's a lot of NES games coming out for the system. I mean, what was it, like 4 or 5 of them that I saw during that direct? Yeah. Various games. I mean, people ask for games, and here they are. And another thing that I find interesting too is Payday 2 is going on there. Which the reason why I find it very interesting is it's kind of one of those games that are not kid friendly, so to speak. It's kind of a violent game, whatever. So I'm glad to see those type of games going onto the system, because that just lets people know that Nintendo is not just a kid's system. It's not just for a kid audience, because that's what everybody was saying, that Nintendo is failing. Oh, Nintendo. You think of the kiddie games, the Marios and the and stuff like that. So I'm really glad to see them having more. What I'm trying to say is mature games, rated mature games, which is good. Bring them on.
Then there's a couple of Kirby's going on this thing.
Yep.
And then, I mean, like Puyo Puyo Tetris. I think we mentioned that. Yep. I mean, it just seems like there's a lot, but it does have a little. I do have a little bit of concern, like the Reverend was saying. They're spread out a lot. I mean, this is just I was really surprised that they did a Nintendo Direct last week. So hopefully that they will have something else at E3 to fill in all these other spaces you got holiday 2017, summer 2017. There's a lot of fall. There's a lot of games that's coming out, spaced out.
One thing that we have to remember, though, the eShop is always open. They can announce shit at E3 to be released on the eShop that day. They could have it, eShop games could just be, to fill in the blanks, to fill in the gaps. However, we need more. We need a fucking big-ass memory card or whatever in order to store all that shit on there. But they could fill in those gaps easily. And who's to say that they don't have things planned or line up, or Nintendo's going to take E3 this year, because the other two are kind of.
Well, I mean, they said that they're actually going to E3 this year. They're actually going to have a presence there instead of just a Nintendo Direct, which I think that was a very wise thing for Nintendo to do, especially during this year launch year.
Metroid 5, please.
Yeah. Well, with the games that they have out, I do have to admit that even though even though they really went ahead, they showed in force. These are the things that we're putting out, especially the first party games, of which Splatoon 2 and ARMS. Those are all both releasing out in June and July, respectively. They really came out and they showed that out in force. The offerings are sparse, though. Okay. What I am hoping, though, is going to happen is that there is enough games that come down the pike in order to keep the momentum that Nintendo has with the Switch, the initial sales continuing on throughout the next few months. The reason why that's so important right now is because there are still a lot of third-party developers that are just kind of taking a wait and see. Let's see what your user base looks like, to go out of our way and then determine whether or not putting together a game for your console, for your platform, is actually worth our time. And, for all intents and purposes, for a lot of people who are saying, but a lot of them are remakes that were on the Wii U. The Wii U only sold 13 million fucking consoles. How many people actually played those fucking games?
True.
All right.
What do you want to add?
Seriously.
Well, I mean, we've already mentioned you got third party like Square Enix as well, devoting complete, like, hey, I'm going to be making games for this system before I even think about the others. I mean, that's a major announcement that was made last week as well.
Super
And then on top of that, you got a couple of Dragon Quest coming out. I mean, come on, man. I mean, it's just, I'm just saying.
And the thing is that there's a lot of things that are coming out, and like I said, overall, I think this is an effort that is expected of Nintendo, and I can appreciate it for what it is. Okay, so far we've knocked off the good, we've knocked off the expected.
I just want to add something right quick. You said Square, Mario RPG 2, hint, hint. But look at, even though the games are pretty spread out, just as Reverend said, maybe Nintendo probably just is trying to put in consideration that we can't spend like $200 to $500 a month on a whole bunch of games that just come out. Yes, they need to close the gap kind of bit, and to have the variety so different type of gamers will be satisfied. But if you're just an all-around gamer that's just looking for good-ass shit, you'd be broke.
Well, this year, to add on to that, this year has been phenomenal for
The
across
first 4 months,
the board for games. I mean, this has been the biggest year in games in a long time. So I'm already broke. I'm just saying, if you were to buy every game that major AAA title that's been out since January 1st, you'd be broke as hell. I'm just saying, which is good.
Yeah, and like I said, that's one of the things. At least at this point, we know that they're giving us a choice.
Yep.
At least for the Switch and the 3DS, not for all things. Now, this brings us to the ugly. All right, Nintendo, in a statement to IGN earlier last week, around the 13th, they went ahead and they said they dropped the hammer, and they officially gave us the bad news through their statement, which was this. Throughout April, Nintendo of America territories will receive the last shipments of the Nintendo Entertainment System NES Classic Edition systems for this year. We encourage anyone interested in obtaining the system to check with retail outlets regarding availability. We understand that it has been difficult for many consumers to find a system, and for that, we apologize. We have paid close attention to consumer feedback, and we greatly appreciate the incredible level of consumer interest and support for this product. Okay, in a nutshell, Nintendo, we went ahead and we mentioned in a video like about a month back that they were discontinuing it in Europe. With this particular statement, they are making it official that they are discontinuing. They are no longer manufacturing any units worldwide, and anything that happens to come out onto the retail floor over the next, actually, it's already the 17th of April, over the next 2 weeks, that's going to be it. So, what are your thoughts on this one, guys?
Well, you see, not to say that I'm surprised, but I am surprised because this was a hotcakes like selling item that many people wanted to own, that people would, would go out and get. For Nintendo to just say, okay, yeah, it's not like it wasn't selling, but maybe it's because of people, doing all the modifications to it has something to do with it. But look, again, this thing was selling. People were hunting for it. People want it. People want to get it. People want, damn, I just don't understand why successful shit is limited. I don't get that. That bothers me. There are a lot of people that most likely are going to miss out. Okay, not most likely, that will miss out. I may be one of them because I don't have an NES Mini. I still have NES. I have 2 of them, but still, maybe I was going to partake in this if given a chance. It just sucks that they're just going to cut off production, period. Now, the NES Mini is a fucking legacy system. Damn shame.
For me, I was one of those people that would like to get a hold of that device. I do think that was part of the plan from Nintendo, was because of all the mods that was going on. I think at one time it got up to like 900 games you could put on it or something like that. However many game ROMs you could put on there with the memory that was on there. It was a god amount. I think it was like last time I stopped counting was 670 or something like that. So I'm pretty sure it went up. But through that statement that you just read, Reverend, Nintendo said that it was never intended to be a long-term console. So that kind of got me scratching my head. So perhaps maybe this was just one of those holiday things that Nintendo was trying to bridge the gap between the Wii U and the launch of the Switch. Now that the Switch is launched, it kind of, that bridge, so to speak, it's not needed anymore. But from a financial standpoint and from a selling standpoint, I think that's one of the stupidest moves that Nintendo could ever do, especially at the cost of allowing scalpers to sell the system for $500+, which is going to happen. As soon as I read that Nintendo was going to discontinue the Mini, I checked eBay prices and Amazon prices, and I think they were at 165, 160 something. Maybe almost 100% of a little bit over 100% of what the retail price was, but it was going down. But as soon as we found out the news that Nintendo is going to discontinue the console, it rocketed back up 300, 400 times as much as retail price. We'll talk about $400, $300, $500, and it just pisses me off when I go on eBay and look at those prices. And then when I click into the auction and the guy has 10 fucking systems stacked in the fucking table, that burns me up. I hate that shit. But you can't blame scalpers. Yes, you can. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to defend scalpers, but there's money to be made at a gamer's expense. So, like I said, don't fall victim of the scalper. That's all I gotta say. Don't pay that much money for a system. I wouldn't pay over $60.
Why would you pay more for an NES Mini than you would pay for a fucking PS Pro or
one of these?
I think one of the things
Switch,
or what? Because it's $300, and people are putting that thing at $300.
No,
I'm like, you serious here?
Yeah.
Or actual NES with all the games that you just find on it.
Yeah, I think beyond that, it's just this is one of those things that really kind of illustrates the kind of disconnect that Nintendo of Japan has with with the consumers that they're trying to serve. Okay, because the thing is that here's the thing, all right, if it's a hot day and you make yourself a jug of lemonade and you start selling it off for like a quarter a cup, and you start seeing that you have a line, you're not going to sit there and say, oh, I'm sorry, I wasn't planning on doing this just for like 2.5 hours this morning. You guys are just kind of assed out. No, you're going to run back and you're going to make more fucking lemonade. All right, that's just how it goes. Maybe the folks in Nintendo corporate in Japan, didn't have those guys there. but fuck, Ocha isn't free. I mean, they probably had something like that over there in fucking Japan. So, yeah, this is just the more I think about this, the more discouraged I get with the type of mindset that they have. I know they're very conservative on how they handle their products and everything, but this was making them money, like they said, and people wanted them. The demand was there.
What?
Wait,
what are they doing there?
Still.
Yeah. But the thing about it, and we only got like 3 minutes left. The thing about this is that, it just doesn't make any sense. I know that they want to go ahead and concentrate on the Switch, but was this really so far, was this eating up so much of the fucking market that they couldn't exist next to each other?
No, wait a minute. I'm going to add this. What are you going to do with the SNES Mini?
I don't know if they plan to.
But if they do, this will be a wash, rinse, repeat, and they know this. It's not that it couldn't pair up with the Nintendo Switch. This thing could have probably sold more than the fucking Wii U if given a chance. So financially, this makes no sense to discontinue it.
Yeah, but they're doing it. So, like I said, it wasn't part of their original plans. I guess, all right, and I understand that maybe they got to go ahead and free up those lines for Nintendo Switches. But again,
maybe they're not interested in the Nintendo anymore. No. Yeah,
but again, I don't see how it was threatening like Nintendo's share with the Switch. So that's just one that flies above my head. Okay, and
Sony and Microsoft, but they didn't threaten Nintendo.
Yeah, exactly. But like I said, this particular one, I'm going to wrap it up. This is pretty much your good, your expected, and the ugly, or the downright stupid, okay? Nintendo, a lot of Nintendo news, some of it good, some of it expected, and some of it really fucking stupid. What we want to know at this time, folks, if you've stuck all the way up until this point, thank you very much. Last 30 minutes. What do you think about the Nintendo news? Do you think the games that are being released out that have been announced are enough? Do you think that the NES Classic Mini would have been a great idea to go ahead and keep on producing it? Hint, yes, it would have been. All right. Leave us your comment below. Let us know what you think. While you're at it, hit the like button, hit subscribe. We always appreciate when you do that. We are the middle-aged guys. We are the middle-aged guys. All right. And we've been bullshitting about Nintendo for the last, like I said, around 30 minutes or so. And our bullshit on that will end right here. I am the Reverend.
The theme here.
Gray Mouse 1.
Once again, for the benefits of common sense, logic, and gaming, Nintendo did good. Nintendo hanging in there, and Nintendo just gave us a middle finger. Damn shame. Credits.
Nintendo didn't give us a middle finger. What they did is they saw something shiny, and they tripped, and they fell on their head, and then they continued to fall on their head.